Hi everyone! Today we're going to do a get ready with me. Something really simple. This is my everyday makeup. Hope you enjoy! First things first, lip balm. My lips are always pretty dry, so I like to start off my makeup routine with a layer of Olio E Osso's tinted balm in number 8 Persimmon. It has a nice rusty orange color and it's really smoothing for the lips. Next up is sunscreen. I'm currently using a sample of AKT Therapy, or maybe it's pronounced Oct Therapy's Elemental Sun Balm. It's SPF 30 and I just use a small pea-size amount. I actually contacted the owner to ask how much I should be putting on my face, and she herself suggested a pea-size amount. The texture is very emollient and very smoothing. I like to work it into my skin. It has the slightest tint, and on really good skin days I wear just this alone. Next up is concealer. I'm currently using the RMS Beauty Uncover Up in shade 11. My skin is pretty dry and this is the only thing that feels moisturizing. I skip foundation, so I just go in with concealer where I need it. I'm gently patting the concealer basically all around my eyes because I do have under eye circles and some discoloration towards the outer portion of my eye, and the under eye darkness kind of creeps up on my inner corners too. I get a lot of redness on my face, and so I like to pat it in around the nose, inside the cheek area, bridge of my nose, eyebrows, and the center of my forehead. Also my chin. And I really take my time with this. I try to be gentle, but at the same time working it into my skin. I'm currently also using the RMS Beauty Signature Set in the Mod collection. You'll see me dip in and out of this palette throughout the video. Here I'm using the Lip to Cheek in Spell, which is a really beautiful rosy nude. I apply it to my cheeks, and I also go pretty high towards the temple too. And then I take whatever is left over and apply it to my eyes as well. Here I'm using the Goss number 11 brush, which is a buffing brush. I'm taking this brush and swirling it into the Gressa eye tint in the shade Obscur. I got this for the eyes because I wanted a really neutral brown, but it turns out to be a great multitasking shade. Here I'm applying it to my cheeks and my temple. It may seem like I'm really aggressively swirling the brush into the product, but it's actually barely picking up any product. I find that using a light hand is better suited for my features, because otherwise it can look a bit too heavy. I also like to put a bit on my forehead and under my jawline as well. Next I'm going back into my RMS Beauty palette, and I'm picking up the Master Mixer shade to use as a highlight. I apply it to the top of my cheeks and the bridge of my nose. also go in with the Living Luminizer shade and put it under my brow bone. I like to fill my brows in with the RMS Beauty Swift Shadow in Tobacco Road TR92. I actually found out about this shade looking through RMS Beauty Japan's Instagram account. They're pressed shadows, but they're not drying at all. Because the pigment is so smooth and soft, I make sure to tap off any excess. The brush I'm using to fill in my brows is the Goss brush number 21, which is the eyebrow brush. I got this off Beautylish a few years back, and I have to admit that I never quite understood how to use it to the best of its advantage. Until recently when I started using it with the RMS Swift Shadow. The shape of the brush is really unique and it helps to fill in the eyebrows pretty quickly. Also, since the brush hairs are so coarse, it helps to actually brush out my brows without me going in with a spoolie. I've really come to love this brush. Next, I'm using this Chanel retractable dual tip eyeshadow brush. It has both a blender side and a shader side. I got this Chanel brush a few years back before switching over to Green Beauty, and it's the only Chanel Beauty product I own. Here I'm contouring my nose just a little. I dip my finger into the Gressa eye tint from earlier, and I swipe it on either side of my nose and go in with the blender side of the Chanel brush. Then I dip the brush into the Gressa eye tint and apply it to my eyelids. This is a really beautiful shade to give just a natural bit of definition. I have really sensitive eyes, and even after so long of applying makeup, I still get a little scared when I'm applying anything near my eyes. Now that I have a good base, I'm moving on to the Aether Beauty Crystal Grid Gemstone palette. This is a beautiful zero waste palette that has really gorgeous and unique eyeshadow shades. This is the first palette in Green Beauty that I've seen that has such a wide variety of colors. The formula is really great as well. The shadows are really pigmented when applied with fingers, but blend out easily with a brush. First, I'm going in with the shade Intuition. I just pick up a little bit on my ring finger and apply it to my eyelids. Then I'm using the Goss number 6 brush, which is an eyeshadow blending brush. This is by far the softest eyeshadow brush that I own. It's perfect for blending and great for my sensitive eyes. Then I'm going in with the shade Amber, and you can see that this one is really pigmented and beautiful. On me, it's a great apricot shade. I apply with my finger first because that way it can be more pigmented. Then I blend it out with the brush. Because I don't apply any powder beforehand on my eyelids, sometimes the pigments do get stuck in certain places, and so it takes a while for me to blend it out. So I use a combination of my finger and the brush. Then I'm using the Goss Precision Detail Brush. I go in with the shade Diamond around the inner corners of my eyes. This is the only shade in the Aether Beauty palette that I feel where the glitter is slightly different. And that's because in the other shades, while they're all very shimmery, they're a very fine shimmer. And this is the only one where the glitter is a bit chunkier. I find it hard to blend out on my eyelids, and so I only use it for the inner corners. Using the same detail brush, I dip back into Intuition and bring it to my lower lash line. And this gives my eyes just a bit more definition. The final step is mascara. I'm using the Pacifica Stellar Gaze Length and Strength mascara. After a lot of research in the clean beauty community, this is by far the cleanest mascara formulation I found. It also performs pretty well and is affordable. The only downside for me is that the brush is really large. Because the brush is so large, I like to take my time so that I don't poke myself in the eye. This mascara really stays on all day and it's super comfortable to wear. I don't really feel it on my lashes. Oh, and before I forget, my hair clips are from Harry Josh Pro Tools. Thanks so much for tuning in to this simple get ready with me. I hope you found some new clean beauty products to try, or maybe rediscovered some old favorites. Thanks again for watching.